Hello everybody and welcome to Fey Earth, an indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real and lived alongside humanity. For those who are regular viewers, you will see we are absent a number of players, unfortunately. Two of our players, Neve, who plays the disaster lesbian witch Gwyn, and Tendai, who plays the mysterious rogue Amanada, are both unwell at the moment. We wish them all the best and hope they will be returning to us soon. But after last week's technical problems, we didn't want to have 2 weeks in a row without a stream. So we decided, screw it. We can think of some reason to explain their absences. So let us continue on, but they are not here, but they will certainly be here in our hearts. So Fey Earth, as I said, is an alternate 19th century Earth. It is the year 1872, and our adventure takes place in the town of Cherville, which is a fictional town in central France in the Auvergne region. And it is 6 months since a major conflict that occurred. A war in which the nations of Prussia and France allied themselves to fight the Fey nation of Arcadia, which is nestled pretty much in between the German federations or the German territories and France. Okay, the king of Arcadia had died and his son had taken the throne. This was the first time that there'd been a change in government in this nation in over 6 centuries, and quite a shock across Europe. Otto von Bismarck, seeing this as a possible opportunity, contacted Napoleon III, the king of and ruler of France at that time. Too many did not like each other, but convinced him this is our chance. We can attack them, get back some land. You can get back the Alsace region, which had been annexed about 3 or 4 centuries previously, and we'll get more power, wealth, and influence. That didn't go so well. At first, it was quite alarming that the Fey were suffering casualties, something that had never really happened in a battle between human and Fey before, thanks largely due to the improvements in artillery and rifle power by the Fey. But eventually, the Fey launched a devastating attack in a single day that killed tens of thousands of soldiers across the lines. It's been 6 months since then, and we are in a France that is recovering from this conflict. But right now, I would like one of our players to give us a recap of our last session.
Who remembers last session?
I don't know.
Okay, so we defeated the ogre.
That's all I remember, yeah.
Mina was completely covered in blood from the ogre's attack because Sylvia's spell had cut its neck open and sprayed her because Selena was happened to, or Mina, sorry. Not your campaign 1 character. Mina was right beside the ogre and got covered in blood. We went back through the forest and Polina got a fairy dragon.
Yes.
We managed to kind of lure it. Sylvia used some druidcraft to make some berries for it, and obviously because
we got gold.
Sylvia has snacks, so she'll always. Oh yes, and Dubois had a lot of trouble counting the gold. So we got a lot of gold, and then.
Of course it did.
We found a missing farmer who'd been missing for 5 days. Macron. He disappeared because there'd been a fairy dance.
Yes.
And he was like not in a good way. And there's still another farmer missing, but we got back. We got 25 gold each from the ogre because we went through and some magical items. Which Gwyn and Mina.
I took them, yeah.
Yeah. And then the mayor, Sauve, gave us 10 gold each. And Juliet turned up, talked to Gwyn a bit, and they have a date for the next day.
Well done. Okay, so you will get 1d8 inspiration die that you can use at any stage for any ability check in the game. Okay?
Fabulous.
So,
Did you give us 10 gold each? Is that what we
yeah,
agreed on now?
well, there wasn't actually an agreement of payment. User just kind of said, we'll do it because who the hell else around here is going to fight an ogre and try and kill it? You know, if the gendarmes can't do it, then we're pretty much their only hope. But he did come up to you all afterwards and in recognition gave you an additional 10 gold. So, yeah, you are currently very wealthy with 35 gold each. That is, to put into context, the
We've got
equivalent.
in this session, I think we had about like 10 or so each.
I can't remember. Most of you had somewhere between three.
Yeah, we had a little bit, like, you
But
know.
we've been getting gold progressively as
Yeah.
we've done jobs.
Small bits, but that 35 gold alone, to put into context, is the equivalent of approximately 9 weeks worth of wages for anybody who would be working in a factory in this time period.
I
Okay?
am flush with 38 gold pieces. Oh my god, when I think of campaign 1.
Well, you were pretty broke for much
We
of
had
campaign one.
thousands! No, God, like, you know me, I miss...
level.
Yeah,
Give
but
us
I
time.
miss being flush and just throw money at problems.
You-
Like, it was amazing.
You only
But we have to. We're only 4th level.
yeah, you were
I know.
you were actually fairly broke for much of campaign one. It wasn't until you got to higher levels.
Yeah, we were quite broke, weren't we? Like, do you know me? But then all of a sudden, we were like super rich. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh.
you all headed to bed,
Yeah.
okay, and you have a good night's sleep. The next morning,
Oh, I have a question.
oh yeah, sorry, go on.
Very important question. So, disaster lesbian, is that like an official description of Gwen now?
I think
She's not-
it's
But she's not a disaster. She's like really not panicked and very cool.
no. I think I'm going to make it an official subclass of the witch profession. Just
Disasterless.
She's not disastrous. She's not disastrous at all. She's like, she likes this woman. Juliet likes her too. It seems to be going pretty well. There's nothing disastrous.
There's nothing. The only
inspirational dice to crawl into her.
Yeah, but like the only disaster is that Juliet is like this weird werewolf creature or whatever.
Yeah,
like it's not
our
like
money's on werewolf, but we'll see.
She's
100%.
a perfectly normal,
Neil.
mundane, human farm maiden, totally normal.
Yeah, totally. Totally
I don't
normal.
know what you're talking about.
Nothing fishy, like nothing going on there at all. So that's the only disaster there. Otherwise, she's like pretty okay, like, you know. But I thought I asked if that's official.
Yeah, no, official. It'll be an official subclass for witches. So and I think if it's going to be for any profession, it has to be the witches. Right. So as I was saying, the next morning you wake up. And Justine, when you wake up, you spot that Aminata is not there. She is not present in the room at all. You're not sure where she is, where she's gone, but you do see a small piece of paper with your name on it beside your side of the bed. Okay, opening it up, you see a brief letter from, you recognize your friend's handwriting. Dear Justine, I am very sorry I was called away again suddenly. Do not worry. I am perfectly safe. I should be back hopefully in a few days. I do not know exactly when. If it looks like things might be longer, I will try to send you a message. Yours sincerely, Aminata. So she appears to have done another disappearing act. Okay? And looking around, you can see, yeah, okay, some of her stuff is gone. Not all of her stuff. So some of her stuff is still here. But definitely her revolver is gone. Her cane sword is gone. That stuff is gone. Like some of her basic supplies are gone as well. So she appears to have mysteriously disappeared again. Getting up, Gwyn looks up at you and waves and goes, oh, my throat's really sore. Damn it, I think I might be coming down with something. So, Sylvia, Mina,
Gwyn, what a deep voice you have.
Yes, thank you. So, Mina, it is Friday, by the way. So I assume you get up to go to morning mass, yes?
Yep.
Okay, so you get up to go to morning mass, and Sylvia, you hear Mina getting up as well. You're used to this at this point, you know.
Being as quiet as I can. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Yes, you're not you're not
No, I'm
especially
being as
dexterous.
quiet as I can.
You know, you are yeah. So yeah,
Am I
so
not? Am I not?
Oh,
Am I not? What's my ducks?
I
give
can,
out to you for stomping and
it's two.
So
making
it's not
so
too bad.
much noise.
I'm
You
not.
know,
No, I'm trying to be quiet.
it's fine. I'm awake already.
And then I fall over while I try to kind of put my clothes on.
So
Do you need me to heal you?
No, I'm fine.
I
I'm
have
fine.
I have a random question.
mhm.
Yeah.
Do Sylvia and Mina canonically speak German to each other?
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah,
Probably,
no,
yeah. I
absolutely.
imagine
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
imagine so.
when you are like when it's just the two of them, they would be speaking German.
Yeah, I
Me,
imagine so. Yeah. Or
you,
Sylvan.
well, yeah, well, I mean, you know, you're Swiss German, she's Prussian, so it would make sense.
Would be German, but how would I suppose I'd be used to Mina's accent by now as well. I'd be okay.
I'd say
Oh,
by now you're used to it. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and also, I don't being Swiss. Mina would also know
Hochdeutsch.
Altdeutsch as well, Hochdeutsch as
But
well. Is that?
still, you know what I mean? That still has a terrible accent, like, compared to.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it.
How
I'm from Cork, bye.
how
Cork, bye.
actually
Cork by it.
So how would Mina find Sylvia's posh Berliner accent?
It's not posh
Oh,
at all.
yeah, I got used to it, like, I suppose.
Well, you're not. You were middle class. Your character
Yeah.
was from a middle class background, so you're a
Yeah,
little bit posh.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that posh.
A little bit
yeah,
posh.
you are posh, like, you
Yeah.
know. I'm from a bloody fucking mountain village, like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like farmers up the
Exactly.
mountain.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, so Sylvia, you get up. Justine and Gwen are down in the common room. They're getting some breakfast. It's being served to you all by Murray Aubert, the co-owner of La Petite Auberge where you stay. And she sees you, all, oh, bon matin, how are we all feeling? Fully rested after our adventures yesterday?
Oh yeah, thank you so much. But I was wondering actually, since we were gone effectively for
Yeah.
3 weeks, what else happened? I know the ogre attacked, but a couple of farmers went missing. But what else happened?
Well, just before, let me think. There was a few things that did happen. So, I know you heard about Madame Choisy. She's actually, I think, 2 or 3 times so far that she's been helping women with childbirth. She's described as some sort of goblin or fairy or something suddenly appeared out from under the bed and was biting at her and then would disappear. She wasn't grievously injured or anything, but you know, um, a number of
Yeah,
farmers have complained of their cows going dry. Other farmers have complained of coming down in the morning to find that their horses are foaming, that they'd been looking like they'd been ridden all night. There had been a few. There's been, I think, 2 farmers that had gone missing. One of whom you found, I believe, like yesterday in the forest, Macron.
Prawn, yeah.
Yeah, but there was another farmer, Delacroix, who also had gone missing before Macron, actually. Um, I'm trying to think. That's all I can really think of right now. Like people have said, a few people have been saying that they've spotted some Lutien, you know, some fairies around. I don't know how true that is. There has been more of the faux follet, the will o' the wisp, at night. As a result, farmers walking home from here and the other pubs and taverns in the town are walking more in groups, small pairs and small groups when they're walking home and not
Oh
walking
yeah,
home
this
alone.
this is smart.
And because of that, but Sean, can you think of anything? Have I missed anything? She's calling out to her husband, and he goes like, he was kind of like just off, but it was like, no, no, Mary, I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else. Yes, that's really all I can think of. I mean, everybody. The big thing was the ogre, of course.
Yeah, well, that is dealt with. But I am concerned about the farmer who is missing.
Yeah, Delacroix. Oh, he's been gone for
A week?
10 days, certainly, nearly over a week, about a week and a half. Yes, Macron. He'd gone missing. I think 3 or 4 days ago. I think it was 4 days ago. But Delacroix, yeah, that's been over a week.
Do you know how's Macron doing?
I
Is he
don't.
capable?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Is it possible to talk to him?
I'm sure you could visit him. Absolutely. I can give you directions to his farm. And then someone said, "Oh, where's your friend?" I assume that the short one has gone to mass, but where's the other one? And it's at that point Sylvia you realize, yeah, where's Aminata? She's not here.
Yeah, she
Short one.
had a business to attend,
Oh, okay.
and I'm
She-
giving Sylvia kind of like the looks.
Yeah.
Sylvia's just gonna say, or she's gonna telepathy can't. She disappeared in the middle of the night again.
Sorry, what was that, honey? You broke up there on me. What did you say? Oh no! Don't tell me she's frozen.
She is frozen.
No.
No, I'm back. I'm back. I'm
Okay.
back.
Okay. Well, you're.
Am I back? I think
Yeah,
I'm back.
your camera's a bit grainy. But,
Intermittently, like, yeah.
yeah. What? Anyway, what did you say? Can you repeat that? Oh no.
Oh, I just via.
Oh no! Don't tell me Twitch is freezing. The video's freezing on us again. No. Oh, for fuck's sake! Guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Don't know if you're talking.
The
I don't know about Twitch.
Twitch is after sound. Okay, Laura, you can hear us, can you? The sound is good.
Good.
Christina, can you say something just to test it?
Yeah, hi.
So yet again, we're getting this weird thing where our video is freezing, but our sound, apart from Polina, yet again, your camera is working fine, but the rest of us have frozen, but we have sound.
Your setup, whatever you have, like, I need to get
I
the
don't
same
know
setup.
what I have technician.
Finest lads. All moved
Yeah,
to
well,
our
who are
farm.
you with? Like, what the heck?
I'm with Virgin
Ah,
Media.
version.
We had a
Same.
technician out today.
Same.
We got a
And I'm paying for 360, although all I'm getting with the speed I did speed test the other day, all I'm getting is 160 if I'm lucky. know.
We're playing like €22 each,
That sounds about right. Yeah.
and they're like
Yeah,
three
that
of us,
sounds
so-
about right. Yeah, same. I'm up to €80 like at this stage, and it's just where I am. Probably it's just shit.
So I'm
Anyways, or...
yeah, no, we're gonna keep playing. The sound is good. I have, according to my computer, my download speed is just under 700 megabytes a second, and my upload speed is 44 megabytes per second. This should not be freezing. I don't know if this is an OBS problem or a Twitch problem. What I need is more followers, because once I get to 50 plus followers, I get affiliate, and then I get a better connection from Twitch themselves.
Okay.
So
There
what
you
we need is more followers. I don't know why this keeps happening, but look, if people can hear us, screw this. I'm not cancelling their game. We're gonna continue to
We'll make
play.
it work.
We're gonna make it work.
We'll
So
make it work.
apologies all for this nightmare tech problems, but we'll keep playing. So
It's just their
Sylvia
faces
just-
anyway.
Sylvia
yeah.
just said via the lesser telepathy cantrip. She left in the middle of the night again.
In the middle of that night.
So So Justine can send cantrips back without
Oh.
like gesturing and showing that she
But
is
just
sending cantrip back, but
just
she's
a
going to
nod.
like kind of.
Right. So,
Hmm?
I
okay.
mean, everyone thinks we're weird by this point anyway, so
Yeah, that's true.
Justine just sitting
Yeah.
there, just like,
Yeah.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder why. Like we're totally normal.
Um, as you are having breakfast, Gwyn tells you all that she's got some stuff she needs to do today. That she, having finally received the rabbit's foot from one of the farmers, she will be making another amulet. So these are something that witches can do. They're in like similar to like it's like an artificer type thing. It's a semi enchanted item. It holds an enchantment, but there's a limit on the number that they can create, and the next one that she wanted to make required a rabbit's foot, so she can make an amulet of fortune, which will give her bonuses to like advantage on certain rolls and stuff. So she's actually says to you all, she's gonna be gone. She's gonna be busy up in the room for a chunk of the day doing that. She says, explains, realistically, it'd probably only take me an hour or so, but I'm feeling kind of crappy, so I'm gonna take my time at it, and then I might go. She says she might go and wander off, see if she can find any snowdrops and other spring flowers, maybe for Juliet tonight for their date, if that happens.
Yeah.
what is the dragon doing?
Oh, the dragon came down with you. It's
It's not
camouflage
newspaper.
on your shoulder. It kind of looks weird in that it looks like, what would it look like? It almost, yeah, it looks like there's a weird kind of lump of wool or something on your shoulder. It's very strange. And when Marie goes, it climbs down onto the table and it's sniffing around at your breakfast foods. And what you have, it's just some bread and some cheese, and it takes a bit of the cheese and it nibbles at it. It doesn't seem all that impressed.
But the innkeepers, they know about the dragon, don't they?
They did. They did. They
Yeah.
no.
They said they get some
They did
fish
see it. They did see it.
on
No,
nuts.
yes, but obviously, she Marie didn't see it, notice it because it was kind of camouflaging into your clothing when you came down.
Yeah, would I be able to order something that the dragon likes?
Yeah, you call Marie, and when
Do
she
they have like frozen berries even or nuts or something like that?
she looks at she comes out and she says, "Oh, it's your little friend. Do we know what their name is?"
Not yet, no.
Oh, they're such a good little boy, and she says, "Well,
They're such good little boy.
honestly, I don't have much experience feeding dragons. So I could get some. I don't. It's the wrong time of the year for berries.
You give me a few
fish or
minutes. I will
something.
go outside, and Sylvia's gonna get up and go outside and make some.
I mean, they probably have even like berry jam or frozen berries. That's like.
Oh yeah, they would have jams. They'd have preserves.
Sylvia could Sylvia make a little bit, like just a couple to give?
A very small amount. You with your
Yeah.
druidcraft spell, you wouldn't be able to create big bushels to feed people, but you could create enough to create a small couple of berries,
No.
certainly.
A couple of berries to feed the dragon.
Yeah, no, I
though.
get that. Yeah. So she's you go out and you collect some berries.
They were
Justine?
very fond of fish last time.
Yeah, she says, well, there's no fish in the pantry right now. I'll see about getting some later. Yes. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
So, Mina, you go out to Mass. It's a short Mass. The usual 25-30 minute morning Mass. Do you stick around? Do you head back?
I have a quick private thank you. I light a candle because we defeated the ogre.
Yeah.
And then I head back and yeah.
So when you get back, you see the rest of your friends, minus Aminata. They're finishing breakfast. They're having their coffees in the common room of La Petite Auberge. when Madame Aubert sees you, she's there is our little saint, and she comes back a minute later with some breakfast for you.
Ooh, Madame, I'm nowhere near saint. I'm just catching up,
Well,
banking some for when I'm on the road.
Neil, how likely is it that Sylvia would have
You,
Sorry, what was that?
How how likely is it that Sylvia would have paper?
You might have a small bit of paper on you. Like how much paper are we talking here? Like you could go
I-
buy paper if you wanted.
Yeah, and ink maybe.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely,
Okay.
you
you
could.
can buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, as a druid, you don't keep your spells in the
Yeah,
in the
I
traditional Book
know.
of Shadows.
I
The
know.
druids keep they store their spells on a Book of Shadows where they carve own runes onto wood. So you keep yours on wooden
Yeah.
discs. Whereas Justine and Gwyn, they do keep their spells in a traditional written Book of Shadows format. So they would have certainly ink and maybe paper as well.
Okay, I want to go and get some. I have a little bit of that kind of stuff.
You'd have a small bit of paper, but not lots. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't have a pen. You'd probably have like a pencil.
Okay, well, pencil will do. For now.
Because we are predating ballpoint pens by
Yeah.
about a century.
Yeah, no, I'd have a pencil, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, I think we should probably go maybe visit Delacroix's farm and try and find out a little bit more information about when he went missing. So I don't know if he's still alive. It was a while ago.
I think we need to talk to the farmer that we found first.
Macron.
Maybe he'll
good
be able to
idea.
give you.
I think we should do this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So is that what you want to do first? Because I know some of you had said you had errands you wanted to run as well.
Oh, I don't want to do it right away. I'm gonna think about
Yeah,
that
I
and-
gonna say that while Mina is playing with the dragon, but it's like, oh yeah, don't bite me, and
Oh, that's what you're doing. I was just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you doing?
Ow.
I thought Bean was like on your laptop or something.
No, she's outside, like
Okay.
looking in at me, like really pissed off.
I was so
Um,
confused.
No, I'm playing with the little dragon, and but didn't want to say. No, I say that. Oh no, there's a couple of things I want to go and buy. But after that, yeah, we can
Okay,
go.
maybe
We
we
can
should
go to the farmer.
meet back here, and I don't know how long you will need. An hour? Would an hour be enough time for you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be
So
okay.
so where does Mina want to go?
Oh, first I want to go to the shoemaker and order a leather break.
Okay. And you tell the rest of the party this, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, I would also like one.
Well, then come along.
What
What
about
about you?
what about Justine?
Well, Justine does need armor, but I think first of all she wants to go to the post office and order some supplies to
Yes, of
complete
course.
the binding ritual.
Absolutely. So we can start off with Mina and Sylvia heading to the shoemakers to talk to him about maybe getting you some stuff. Okay.
Would Justine be able to tell them her like shoe size
Well,
and then probably like
oh yeah,
return
no.
when you
Well, you see, the way it would have worked back then is that a shoemaker would have like taken a measurement of your foot.
gotcha.
There wasn't standardized shoe sizes. You would have had a measurement of your foot, and actually, I can't comment on larger cities, but in towns like this, I believe even in 1872. I could be wrong, so any of the history nerds here, please don't attack me in chat. But it was not completely uncommon that people would have, I can't remember what the word, I think it could have been called a last. It was like a simple wooden model of the foot with the size of your shoe for individuals in the town, so that they would, if they wanted new shoes, they could get them, you know. Or I think they might have had lasts. I think it was called a last of different sizes. But Mina and Sylvia are specifically going to the shoemakers simply because he works with leather, and they are hoping to get leather brigandines. As a spellcaster, you cannot wear metal armor; it interferes with your ability to use magic. But you could wear a
Leather armor is fine.
leather
yeah.
brigandine would provide you with some protection from standard melee attacks and from attacks by non-firearms based projectiles. Non-metal armor offers no protection from firearms or magic. Metal armor provides slight protection from firearms and magic, but you could, if you wanted to, see if he would make you a leather brigandine as well.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, not in this town obviously, but just in the world, surely there is like armor that designed for spellcasters that protects from like everything.
Yeah, it's magic armor made by the Fey, and it's super expensive and super
It's
rare.
super
And
rare.
not like normally the kind of stuff that
Yeah.
people find when they're exploring abandoned Fey mounds and elven palaces and stuff like this is like you see, the thing you have to remember as well though is that armor has become largely redundant. Like in actual military conflicts, it's not even really worn on the battlefield anymore, because while it offers a tiny amount of protection from firearms, it doesn't offer a huge amount. And for the time and money that goes into making something like a cuirass or a breastplate, it's kind of, and this sounds messed up, but it wasn't really worth it. By the late 1900s, armor was effectively obsolete. The only people in this world who wear armor are adventurers, people who will be possibly fighting Fey, whether you're talking Fey creatures like unicorns and griffins and the likes, or Fey beings. You know, they might wear armor because many Fey still like to use more archaic, medieval-esque weapons. You know, so if you see people walking down the street, they're wearing armor, you're guaranteed there's some sort of weirdo adventurers. Or the only other exception would be people like the Swiss Guard that Mina is a member of. These anachronistic mercenary units that are specialized in fighting
Again,
giant
that's
men.
I guess because we are fighting
Specifically, they were
creatures that are, attacking us with like
swords and clubs and stuff.
means.
So
Exactly.
if you
Claws.
if you wanted like the male armor that the elves wear is famous in that, as well as being ridiculously light, spellcasters can wear it and it doesn't in fact impact their magic. And it's said that armor made by dwarves and goblins using Fey iron, which is this highly coveted and closely guarded steel alloy that the Fey have, that can be enchanted maybe to allow spellcasters to use. But we're talking pretty super rare, effectively magical items.
Start small.
Yeah.
My last character was a spellcaster. She had a leather bag. Honestly, I was so glad I had it.
You did get I do believe that in campaign 1 you did finally get your hands on a male shirt, but you were like 70th level or something before you got that.
It was very high up when we were it's
now, however,
small.
Yeah, however, as
upgrade as much as you can, and that's basically it. Like,
as a spellcaster, there are spells that you can obviously take that will provide you with magical armor, such as the Barkskin spell that Sylvia had cast on you previously. So you have spells that you can use defensively to protect you as well. Okay, so are we all going to the shoemakers first?
Yes.
Cool. So we head out. You're given directions. The shoemakers is not that far. It's like less than a 10-minute walk away across the town square on the other side. And you see this sign for a shoemaker's outside this building. Walking inside, you can smell the smell of fresh leather. Not the smells of leather you get from a tanner's, but, tanned leather smell, okay? And you see a man, he's standing kind of behind a workshop bench, human. Looks to be in his early 50s. He's got grey hair and he's kind of a balding patch in the middle, wearing a small pair of spectacles. wearing this leather apron over him with various different tools, and he's just hammering away. Looks like he is hammering in the sole of a pair of boots as you all walk in, and he sees you and says, "Oh, good morning.
Yo, good morning.
How can I help you, fine ladies? Are we looking for new shoes?"
No, we were looking for leather brigandines, actually.
Oh, and he kind of has
Mine
the.
is a bit wrecked, and I'll show him the kind of,
Well, yeah, all you had was a doublet, effectively.
Yep.
So, he's got
I'm like, look, and it's all kind of like, and it's
oh,
soaked in blood, and it's like, yeah.
I've, I've never made a brigandine before. Like, I've never had
Yeah,
anybody who
well,
needed one.
our lives have become quite dangerous since we have come to this town. We have been helping.
You're that
people.
you're that group of young women who've joined the town recently, and I heard people saying that you killed the ogre.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
The gendarmes were also there, so unfortunately,
Yeah, but they didn't do anything, like, you know.
they tried to help. Ogres are quite terrifying.
I've never made a brigandine before. I'm not saying I couldn't.
But
I'm pretty sure I could.
we
But
would very much appreciate if you tried.
okay, well, all three of you want brigandines, or just?
Well, I do. Mina, you
I
said
do.
that you did also.
And I look
I
over
do.
at Justina's like, honestly, I would recommend it.
If you are making two, a third one should be. Why not make a third one?
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose just give me a second, and he reaches to the side of his bench, and he picks up a notebook, and then he reaches to the other side, and he picks up what looks like some sort of a tailor's tape. It says, well, I guess I'll start taking measurements. Oh God, I'm not used to taking measurements of young women now, but and you see him actually, he blushes slightly at the thought of such inappropriate physical contact with young women, and says, well,
Oh, you can use this as like a
I don't think,
thing.
yeah, I don't think that would work, Mademoiselle. You see no, I don't think that would work. I think I'll need.
Okay, then.
I'll be as brief and respectful as I can. Just don't tell my wife.
But
And
just get on with it.
so he goes up to you first, Mina. He says, "Okay, okay, Mademoiselle, can you just stand up straight and hold your arms out to your sides like a capital T?"
I've been doing that for the last like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and so he goes up and he takes a measurement from the shoulder to the wrist. He takes a measurement of around the wrist, around the bicep, around the shoulder itself. And at one stage, his hand ever so slightly brushes against your breast, and he goes, "Oh, I'm very sorry." And he goes even more red as he's horribly embarrassed by this. And he's okay, and he's actually beginning to sweat. It's kind of nearly adorable. It's like, this guy is clearly not a creep. He's like very, very much trying to be respectful here. And he's like, okay, I need to take a measurement of your chest, Mademoiselle. I'll stand behind you and just draw the tape around your chest, and he brings the tape over your bosom and to the back. He says, "Now breathe in deeply. No more deeply. No, as deep as you can, Mademoiselle." And and he's writing down a measurement, and then he goes, "Okay, I'll need to get a measurement of your waist as well, I think," and takes a waist measurement. It's like, "I'll definitely need a measurement of your hips as well, because they would be wider than your shoulders, which you had taken a measurement of already. Honestly, if you're a man, this would be a lot easier. Men's bodies are
Mina
more."
is like going red.
Yeah. Now, as I said,
Maybe she's still holding her breath, but she's still
Oh,
holding
no,
her
no, no.
breath. Like,
Okay, you can breathe, Mademoiselle. You can breathe, okay? And you can. Okay, so he takes a hip measurement, and he takes a measurement going down to. I assume this would probably want to go to just above the knee, because otherwise it would possibly impede your movement if you're fighting more ogres.
yeah, that'd be perfect. Like, you see, I kind of want to show kind of a little couple. Yeah, that would be perfect. And like have some, on the side, openings on the side so I can move.
Yeah, no.
And I show him what I usually kind of do.
He looks at
Some
how.
lunges and
Yeah,
stuff.
no. He
Where the heck is my pen go?
Yeah. So yeah, no. So this takes him a little under 10 minutes to do. And then he says, okay, I have all my measurements. Mademoiselles, which of you is next? Looking at Justine and Sylvia.
I will go next.
Okay, so...
Sylvia is just like really like just is not comfortable with this guy getting near her. It's like, oh god. So she's just standing there like, you know, arms out like Mina did, but she's just like
So you would have had...
her shoulders are nearly up around her ears. She's just so tense.
Yeah, you would have experienced this somewhat before as a young lady when you were, like, for example, when you were... Because how old is Sylvia again?
Sylvia is about 23.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you would have come out to society, you know, when you were about 20.
Sylvia's not, she's not... I thought it was just high society that came out. She's not...
No, like,
not.
so, like, I know you're not, like, high society, but your family, like, as you said, your family were, like...
No, they had a market stall. It was like Moore Street.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
No,
apologies.
no,
I was under the
I've
impression
been-
they were more middle class than that.
I know, but I've been very, very clear, and I repeatedly said
Well,
that.
you never described it as Moore Street, so that if you'd said that, I would have remembered. But in that case, yeah, you would have been used to this a little bit from your mother taking your measurements when she was making clothes for you, but it was your ma, so like.
And this is the first time since the war, so yeah, she's not comfortable with like.
Well, he spends about 10 minutes taking the exact same measurements as you did for Mina. Your shoulder width, your arm length, the shoulder drop. You can tell I used to make clothes, that I know these terms. And yeah, your bust width, your waist width, your hip width, the garment drop length, the wrist width, the bicep width, and all the rest of that. And then he's done. And then Justine, you are next.
Yeah.
And you were from a slightly more wealthy merchant family, so you definitely would have come out. You would have been part of a prom type coming out ball when you were about 2021, which I think was like only just recently. You're only like 21, aren't you? So probably short.
I assume like even they could afford like, you know, tailored clothes. Absolutely,
yeah. So you've been used to this. So although previously your dresses were all being made by women, but yeah, you're comfortable and used to your measurements being taken, just not by a 53-year-old man. So he takes all your measurements.
The dragon hissing at him when he goes close.
Actually, that's a very good point, because what happens is he starts off. You got your arms out, and he takes the width of the. But he notices. He says to you, "I'm sorry, mademoiselle. Can you please remove your scarf?"
Oh.
Because what he thinks he's seeing is this really thick wool scarf, kind of bunched, not wool, sorry, fur scarf bunched around your neck.
Okay, I'll try to like gently pick up the dragon, like.
As you reach for the dragon and gently take it away, its form shifts into its true form, and the camouflage that its scales had created reverts back to that light green, that grassy green. And when he sees this miniature dragon in your arms, he like cries. He's like, "Man, shoot, it's a dragon!"
Yes, but it's a tiny dragon. You can hold him while you get your measurements. Come here. Come to Auntie.
Okay.
Come to Auntie Mina. Yeah, you.
I didn't know there were any dragons left. Where did you get a baby dragon?
It's a fairy dragon. It's not a baby. Well, it is a baby, but
it's a baby dragon. But he's not going to grow much bigger. It's not the dragon that everyone is talking about. It's
a mini dragon.
It's like a salamander.
Yeah.
I've seen salamanders. They're not that big. It's not going to bite me.
A large cat.
No.
It won't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'll be like a large cat, like.
I'll be very quick, mademoiselle. So he very quickly takes your measurements, and the whole time he keeps looking at the dragon that's in Mina's arms. And
yeah. She's just getting her measurements done. Yeah, you can go back.
He seems to get your.
Very soon.
He seems to get your measurements, Justine, done in a fraction of the time of the others because he's quite alarmed with the dragon. And he says, "Okay, I've never made a leather brigandine before. I'm confident that I can make it, but it's probably going to take me, 3, maybe 4 days per piece."
Okay, well, we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so
We go.
And I would have to charge 20 silver each.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. I give him 2 gold.
Oh! I was only going to take half. Now you don't need to pay the whole thing until it's done. And he goes to
Oh,
hand
no,
you back
that's
one of the. Well, thank you, Mademoiselle. Okay, and he looks at Sylvia and Justine,
Sylvia's going to hand him a gold.
and I assume Justine does as well. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Okay. So as I said, I will have. We'll say today is Friday. So I'll start one of them today. Then the first one will be ready next Thursday.
You should make Mina's first because she
very
is
good.
lighter and she will need it, I think.
Yeah, I'm usually right up front those whatever beasties
Yeah.
or whatever that come at us. Yeah.
And
Yes, Steve
who
and I, we cast spells, so we tend to be further away.
well
Yeah,
who's
I'm right in the middle
So
of
I
it.
should make Mademoiselle's first gesturing to Mina. Whose armor should I make next?
Yes, Dean, I think yours should be next.
Okay. That will be ready by the following Wednesday. And then the Tuesday after that, Mademoiselle, I will have your armor ready.
Very good, thank
It's
you.
fantastic. Just send
Because-
word to the Aubert shift when you're
Of
done.
course.
No problem.
I mean, he said it would take about 4 days each, but obviously he's not working Saturdays and Sundays because
Yeah.
capitalism hasn't destroyed this world yet. So yeah, he has his weekends off. So right, so that's that done.
Amazing.
Okay,
Right.
so within the next 2.5-3 weeks, the 3 of you will have brigandines.
Great.
Nice.
Sylvia is going to. I will go back to the inn, I think. You have
Post
errands,
office.
so maybe
Yeah.
in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go to the blacksmith. You going to the post office, Justine?
Yeah. But I myself, I need to grab something from the wardrobe because it got really, really cold all of a sudden.
I know.
Okay,
So I'll go to the blacksmith.
you go to the blacksmith's.
Dean is
Okay.
going to the post office. Paulina's just grabbing a jumper.
Okay, so
And Sylvia is going back to the inn. So
Yeah.
okay, blacksmith. Where's my blacksmith? Okay, so right, so the blacksmith is not too far from where the shoemakers is. Okay, so you head there. You go. You find the forge. Going around to the side of the building where the open forge is, you see a guy. He looks to be in his mid-40s, kind of tall auburn hair. He's got that. He's got that strong, muscular, lean build that you would associate with blacksmiths. Okay, and he's hammering away at something. Looking at it, you think it's some sort of a farmyard implement, maybe the start of some sort of a rake or a hoe, possibly, you're not sure. As you walk in to the forge and he sees you, says, "Oh, bonjour, mademoiselle." I know he's a bit kind of surprised that you're there because, like, I guess he's just kind of probably was in the zone and, you know, you've disrupted his work. It's like, bonjour, mademoiselle, how may I help you?
Bonjour. I was actually wondering if you do you armor at all? Any sort of armor?
Sorry, armor?
Yeah.
No, I'm a blacksmith.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if you do any plates, jacket plates, or anything.
No, No, I spend my time making shovels and hoes and rakes and knives and shears and nails. Lots of nails.
That's fine. In that case, I'll order some from the next town.
Sorry, are you looking to get armor, like metal?
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those women who've come. You're one of the adventuring women, yes?
Yes.
You're one of the women who killed the ogre.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, right. I see. Um oh, I think honestly something like that you might have to go to Limoges. That's the closest city to here, but that's over 100 kilometers away.
I know. And the thing is, like, if I order it, then how do I get my measurements across? And what kind of measurements do they need?
Honestly, for something like that, I think you would need to go to the person themselves. They would need to measure you. They'd need to know what shape your body is, madame.
I've never done anything like that before.
I make I make tools for farmers. I
Yeah,
make
that's all you do. Or
and
knives, and of course,
not yeah.
gorgeous, gorgeous, lovely knives.
Yes, I spend half of my week making nails. I could certainly attempt it, but to be completely blunt and honest with you, it would probably be several weeks before I could have the right kind of steel here because I couldn't use the kind of iron I use for my implements. For something like that, I'd need the
See,
highest quality steel,
I
and even then, I don't know how confident I'd be to make such a thing.
yeah. See, I don't even know how long we'll be here. I mean, I've ordered a leather brigandine, so that will give me a bit more protection to tie me over for, like, ever how long it would take. And the thing is, I don't know how long we're going to be here. It seems like we have quite a bit of things to do. So I thought I'll ask because, earned a bit of money,
Well,
have a bit of money to spend.
no, I understand. So if you're looking for things, so the first Sunday of the month we have the big market, okay? But
Yes,
it's the middle of February, so
it is.
the next big market's not going to be for
A while, isn't it?
3 weeks, 3 more weeks. Um, it might honestly, it might be quicker if you just organize transport to Limoges and spent a day or two there, a night
And
there, and
and
ordered, and then
how far were you saying that is
oh,
from here?
it's about 120 kilometers.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere, our town. I mean,
You really are a little bit, aren't
I,
you? But I mean,
I
it's a gorgeous town.
thank you, madame.
Like Minsol's new on one hand, and I'm giving you a
Yeah,
compliment in
yeah.
the other hand. And
Well,
then I go like, you see, I grew up in the middle of nowhere as well, so like, it can be
so
very
so so
beautiful.
you so you
But
understand.
yes, trying to get something is a little bit. Of course, we were really close to Arcadia, so but even their borders were like middle of nowhere, kind of like,
Uh
so
huh.
like yeah. So even that there, it took quite a while, and I just end up chatting and talking because I don't know why. I just kind of
So
yeah.
just to put into context, you had come from the direction of Lyon. Lyon is about 190 kilometers from here, and the next biggest town, it's kind of Lyon was kind of southeast. Limoges is southwest, and that's about 125 kilometers. So it is closer than Lyon, but it would be
It is
much. It
closer
would
than
be
Leo.
obviously
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah,
small.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It'd be
yeah, yeah.
smaller than Lyon. Lyon is
But
like
still big enough. Oh, excuse me.
still a
But
lot.
still big enough to get like specialist items kind of.
You'd have a better chance there. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I see, I see, I see, I see.
So yes.
Well, I'll try. I'll see what we can do. I mean, the letter brigandine is all right,
Mhm.
and I'll see how I get on with that. And I will wish to kind of move on at some stage and go to a bigger town and rummage through their paperwork. But yeah,
Well, okay. I'm sorry I cannot be of greater help. If you needed a dagger
if I need
or
any
an
nails,
axe or I don't know what things you use to kill ogres.
oh, this thing.
Oh, do you have Albert with you? You're carrying your
I
halberd
have
around.
Albert everywhere I go.
Okay, right. So you have your halberd. Well, when he sees that, when he notices the halberd, then he would be quite impressed by the quality of its craftsmanship. Okay.
And we can
So
discuss. We can chat. We can spend a bit more time chatting about Albert
okay.
and where I got him
So
from and blah blah blah
you
blah
spend the
blah
next
blah 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 blah
yeah
blah.
you spend the next 20-30 minutes chatting to this chap who
Totally,
I don't know
quite
the
happily.
he didn't actually, sorry, he did introduce himself. His name is Auguste Delavigne, okay? And the shoemaker is Francois Delahaye. So you do that, okay? So while Mina had gone to the blacksmith Justine, you head to the post office. Okay, it's early in the morning, but there's a couple of old ears there. They're gossiping away with the postmistress, who I think you had met before, hadn't you?
We have, yeah.
Yeah, so the postmistress.
I ordered supplies for.
Yeah, that's right. You had
Sorry.
Miss Madame Aurélie Blanchet. This woman looks to be in her mid 50s, early to mid 50s. Those kind of average size plump build with this brown hair with wisps of grey and a plaited bun. And as you come in, she turns to the woman and is like, well, I shall talk to you later, my dears. I have somebody here who probably needs to order some very specialist equipment. This is one of the young ladies who saved us all from that wretched, monstrous ogre. And they turn and they look at you. These women, look like they're in their early 60s, and they look like, oh, such a pretty little thing fighting such a monstrous beast.
And Justine's just like,
Yeah, and a shitload of damage she did as well. May I just add? I'm
You're not
there
there.
for
You're
her.
not there. So, and one of the things that now, my dear, I have a son he's only a little bit older than you. So, if you were thinking of settling down here, I have raised him to be a good man and to respect his women. And then he's like a little bit older. Your son's 40. I was like, shush you, shush, And he's like, and yeah, they start getting into an argument over this one, trying to, hook you up with her son, who's like only a little bit older than you by nearly 20 years. And they wander out, and Madame Blanchette, she's kind of like not chuckling,
Let
but
me
she's
guess, it's the son living in the basement playing computer. I mean, whatever games that were the
no. If
equivalent of computer games in the time.
as a European, he lives with his parents and just works a normal life, and no one shames him for living with his family because this is Europe,
Yeah, that's true.
like,
That's
come
true.
on,
That's
like
true. We don't do that.
we
Yeah.
don't actually do that on this continent.
A lot of us are living with our parents because it's too fucking expensive to live anywhere else.
Yeah.
You tend to, at this point in time period, you tend to live with your parents till you got married. And that was
Actually, that is very true.
That's true, actually.
And
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
especially true in farming communities, because
Interesting though that he hasn't found anyone and he's like in his he's nearly
It's
40
a
or
tiny
whatever.
town.
Oh well, no. In fairness, the fact that he hasn't found somebody in a tiny town probably says a lot about him.
Exactly.
So,
His mother's so desperate to get rid of him, she's trying to hook him up to anyone that walks past.
yeah, literally.
It's crazy and
You just like walked in.
clearly educated and intelligent.
And he's just a tiny bit
fully
older than
livable.
you, like,
But also like a stranger. I'd
Yes.
say it's like a big
Yeah,
red
yeah,
flag.
totally, like, do you know what I mean?
Any respectable mother of any respectable son in the area.
yeah. So anyway, you head over to Madame Blanchette's. She says, you got the previous package, my dear, yes? Which you had. I'm an addict. It's like, I'm going to be honest, I was quite surprised to see you. We all thought you were dead. We hadn't seen you or your friends in like several weeks. What happened?
Oh yeah. we encountered some hardships.
Please, what kind of hardships?
We ended up in the Fey Realm.
Mon Dieu! And she kind of gasps with her hand on her chest, but it's like, seems slightly exaggerated. It's like, oh, that
Yeah.
sounds awful. Please tell me more. How ever did you survive such a thing?
Oh, by luck. Simply by luck.
Oh, please, you'd have to be blessed by the saints themselves. Like, the Fey Realm? The land of the fairies? People don't return from there. To be honest with you,
Some do.
honestly, I think that's where I think that's where one of ours. You heard Delacroix hasn't been seen in nearly 2 weeks.
That's what we thought.
I would not
Sounds
be at all
good.
surprised
Well,
if he wasn't eaten by the ogre. I reckon he's in the land of the fairy.
it's quite possible.
It's terrible, isn't it? Really, absolutely terrible.
Awful, awful, terrible.
Although, to be honest with you, between you and me, and she looks around. There's no one in the post office, but she still looks around. I don't know how upset his wife would be. I heard that she was getting very, very, very friendly and very, very, very familiar with a certain Monsieur Castillon. Have you heard of the Castillons? They're quite a beautiful family.
Really?
Yes. No, you didn't. You didn't hear that from me.
No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not.
Yes, of course. Of course.
That's shocking. Shocking.
Well, we can't all be upstanding good women of God. She kind of pulls her shawl over herself, making herself seem all prim and proper.
Oh, of course, but
Yes.
your secret is my secret.
Oh,
for sure.
thank you. And she leans in and she takes your hands in hers in a very motherly way. She says, "So, my dear, can I help you with anything? Was there anything else you were hoping
You
to
hear
get?"
Nina suddenly screeching from nowhere. Gossiping is a terrible sin!
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, me, your ears are twitching, your nose are itching, like, or Mina's ears there are like, I'm chatting away to the blacksmith and I'm like, something's itching. I think somebody's committing a sin. No.
So, Madame Blanchette,
Maybe too friendly with someone else's husband
so-
somewhere.
well, you don't know. But Madame Blanchette says, so, was there something else you're looking to get? I know you need very specialist items for your magics, yes?
Yeah, Justina's just like, oh, she forgot why she came. She forgot what she needed. But yeah, what does she need for the ritual?
We won't go into details, but basically, you'd give her a list of, and it's a very specific list of various different items, different different types of powders and ground semi-precious stones and different bits of incense and oil, and it's a whole collection of stuff. Okay. And when you put this together, she's like, "Mon Dieu, this is going to be." You know yourself. It's 100 silver worth of materials. She's like, "This is a lot of." I gathered. I'm as an educated woman myself. I would know of these things, of course. I had gathered that you had studied magic in university. Is that correct?
That's true.
So obviously, that explains why you'd need these very complex, very advanced materials. Not like
Well,
the more
secret for a secret. Since you trusted me, I can trust you as well. I believe. I haven't returned from the Fey Realm alone, and Justina's going to show the little dragon. I mean, everyone knows about the dragon by this point, but
they will by the end of today.
Yeah, but the
Mon Dieu, a dragon?
Oh, it's a fairy dragon. It's not the dragon everyone is talking about. But they're very good. They become very good familiars for sorcerers like myself.
Oh,
Hence, I need all the.
Oh, and these materials are for the dragon. Oh, that's fascinating. The only familiars I know of are the noxious ones that those witches would have: toads and rats and bats and such things. Quite disgusting, really. oh, this is a wonderful, and she kind of like reaches out, but she's afraid to touch it. Um, as your dragon is kind of perched on your shoulder, having revealed itself, and is kind of looking at her, and is like, it's quite lovely. So I can order these things now. I assume you would need these delivered as soon as possible by courier. Yes.
Yes, if that's possible.
Well, I mean, honestly, this is going to be quite expensive. I reckon she actually estimates quite accurately. This would be about 100 silvers worth of materials with an additional 5 silver for the courier fee. That's 10 gold and 5 silver, okay? I could have it for you by tomorrow evening. Before the post office closes, it will have arrived.
Perfect. And at the end, Justin's going to say like a bit too, too sincere, like, "Oh, I believe you. I can trust you with my secret. Don't tell anyone, please.
Oh no,
It's a very big secret.
your secret is safe with me.
So do yours."
Of course, thank you. Right, so yeah, you head back out. All right.
I love how Justine is like at this stage. Oh yeah, we were in the Fey Realm. Yeah, no, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, no, it was a bit of luck, but yeah, people totally come back like, look at me. Yeah, no, East, you know what I mean? Like before she was all like, oh my god, oh you people are now, look at her, look at her.
So
Totally cool with everything.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, totally. I've been in Fey. Yeah, no big deal. You know?
So, by the time because you actually do spend a bit of time there between the women trying to hook you up with their sons and then talking to Madame Blanchette and so forth. You're there for about like 20, 25 minutes. So by the time you get out, you see Mina's just coming out of the blacksmith's forge as well. Because you are all like, it's a small town, and the post office, the blacksmiths, the cobblers, those would be all close to each other. There is stalls that do be out on the town square as well, selling various different things. You'd have one stall where they're selling eggs, another stall that sells fish that are caught in the local river. There's another stall that would sell. It's kind of, it looks
Oh
like.
yeah. I look at Justine and I go like, oh come on, let's buy some fishes for your dragon.
Okay.
Yes. And Justine probably, when she sees Mina, she's getting like all excited for a moment. She almost like runs down to Mina, but then she realizes that they're in the middle of the street, and she kind of like composes herself.
Yeah, I'm always excited
because
to
of the
see my friend.
goss she just learned.
Oh, really good, really good. Yeah, no,
So-
Mina wants to know. She's just a little
Do
shyster,
you-
like, you know,
so
but she wants to know.
Justine,
She's
do you-
as bad as everyone else.
Do you share the gossip?
Yes, I totally share the gossip. But like, you know, I got very close to Mina and like whispered in her ear.
Tell me what's happening.
So basically,
So you tell me what
you know
your
stuff
one
is his
had
name.
told. Like,
I,
yeah.
as a player, forgot. But
Yeah.
Justine remembers.
Yeah. So
Of a
you
goldfish.
tell me what you've been told,
So,
like,
Madame,
right? And Mina's
yes.
like,
Organizing with Delacroix's
Yeah, so-
wife, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, yes.
Allegedly.
Monsieur Castillon, the father of Juliette Castillon,
Oh
the
my
young
God.
lady that Gwyn is pursuing, according to the postmistress, might be in a dalliance with Madame Delacroix, whose husband has recently gone missing. One assumes either lost in the enchanted Tronquay forest or maybe lost into the Fey Realm itself.
what's the missus' name again?
Her name is you didn't get her first name, just Madame Delacroix.
Oh my
No.
God.
I wouldn't trust this lady because she's the biggest gossiper in this town. But the fact that there is a connection there is very suspicious. I almost
Mina is
screamed right there.
speechless, like literally that same reaction I had. Like shock. I'm like, I knew there was something going on with them. Oh my God. And then he has the audacity to go on about our poor Gwyn.
No. In fairness, we
Typical.
didn't know what was going on.
Typical.
That
Oh my
there is
god.
something.
So you are having this conversation, whispered conversation, as you head towards the fishmongers, and the fishmongers
Yep.
is right beside a guy who's selling eggs, and as you get over there, and this guy, he's got various different trout, and he looks like he has some salmon as well. Obviously, all freshwater fish because you are hundreds and hundreds of kilometers from the coastline.
Yeah, yeah.
But the river share it cuts by the town. Okay, so and then
We get a couple of like wee ones for snacks
yeah.
because I think the auberge is getting
I
some
will
as well.
say,
But yeah.
when you get to the fishmonger stall, you do feel your dragon getting excited because it's near this fresh fish, and you are worried that he might launch itself onto the stall. So you very quickly hand over some copper, and as you do, you see another woman coming up to the other stall, and she's like, "Yeah, I need 2 dozen eggs. We need them for and the guy is like, oh, I actually only have about 1.5 dozen left, and she's like, what? What? And she's like, you see that his stall's actually quite bare, even though it's very early. And I was like, look, I'm really sorry. Dubois came by earlier this morning and he took about 5 dozen eggs. You know what that man is like. And she's like, oh my God, how can one man eat? How could one man eat that many eggs in one day? I don't understand. It's impossible. The rest of us are trying to like cook and feed our families with bacon. She's going into a rant. This is obviously a thing. Apparently that happens, that Dubois comes along and buys 5 dozen eggs. And then just see a little bit further down from her, there's another stall. It's a haberdashery stall, so it looks like it's selling various different needles and thread and ribbons and the
Oh, do they
likes.
have ribbons? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I go immediately. I skip over like the little excited girl that I am with my halberd in my hand, and like yeah, and pick out some gorgeous ribbons.
So as you head over, you see there's a woman standing at the a young woman. You don't recognize her, and she is quite stunningly beautiful. Okay, blonde hair, gorgeous fair skin, like really like breathtakingly beautiful, and she appears to be chatting to a young man. There's a young man, looks to be 20, maybe 21, and then an older woman who looks to be in her early 40s. You reckon that it's mother and son, and as you get closer and you see they're both fey touched. They possibly elven blooded fey touch. They have slightly pointed ears of an elf, and this is, I think, the first fey touch people you've seen in the town. And you can see that the woman, she's talking to the young man and quite clearly flirting a lot with him, and he's like enthralled.
Sorry, Neil.
Yep.
Who's Fey touched, woman and the girl, or
The beautiful
Mother and son are.
the beautiful woman, she looks to be human.
Yeah.
Like breathtakingly beautiful human. And then the two people working the stall, who you think are mother and son, they look like the woman who's in her early 40s is kind of average height with kind of brunette with kind of a ruddy complexion and blue eyes, and then a tall, leaner, he's a very handsome looking young man with sandy blonde hair but similar blue eyes to the mother, and they both have the same pointed ears, and she's flirting with this guy. So as Mina and you get up to him, she's like, oh, well, thank you so much. I think this would... Oh, and she's taking a bit of rhythm. She says, so what do you think? Do you think this would look pretty as a trim on maybe a dress or something? And you can, drawing it. And, like, it's really obvious. She's, like, draws the rhythm up her arm
Mina's gonna
and across her
stare
breast.
at her
Yeah?
for a bit, and then she's gonna go, oh, excuse me, mademoiselle, are you related to the Castilian family by any chance?
And she kind of looks at you, and she gives you a quick up and down. And her eyes linger for a second on your halberd, and a kind of a slightly kind of confused, maybe even a what the feck look. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry, I don't know them at all. Why?
Oh, it's just you look very similar.
Oh, how strange.
Yeah.
No. Um,
Yeah.
no, I don't. Sorry. And then she turns back to the man as the mother comes up. She's the mother is like giving her son side eye dagger look. She's like, sorry, mademoiselle. May I help you? Would
Oh,
you?
I was just looking at some ribbons and
Yes.
other like little trinkets that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just going
Yeah.
browsing through their selection.
Yeah, and she has a very nice selection of ribbons. She has some lace as well. Like as I say, it's a haberdashery. She doesn't appear to have any like reams of fabric, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
smaller haberdashery items, as I say, ribbon, lace, buttons, and then
Just wanted
other
to say if
sewing
she has some
materials.
nice buttons, I get some buttons, and I definitely pick up some ribbons
Yeah. Okay.
for
So
my hair and like
so
little flowers or something like it. And then I go over to Justine and go like, how it come there is so many beautiful people? Like it's so weird. There's another gorgeous like looking like that is whisper, but like
yeah,
so
yeah,
for
yeah.
us, but we can like so I whisper into Justine's ear and I go like, honestly, like what are the chances that are like, and they're not even related? That's really strange, don't you think?
Oh yeah, there must be something in the water in this town.
So
I
you
jumped into it, like maybe I'm starting. Yeah, never mind.
So we'll say you get like, I don't know, a 30-40 centimeter strand of ribbon, and a
Oh
couple
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
buttons,
yeah.
and that'll be maybe a silver and
Couple
five
of
copper.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
perfect,
not a
perfect,
lot.
perfect.
And as you're paying her after Trinity is saying that, and you hear the young woman saying, "Oh, maybe we could go for a walk later." And the mother's, "I'm sorry, mademoiselle. Antoine is busy helping me at the stall. Isn't that right, Antoine?" And he kind of looks at the mother's like, "I'm sorry, I can't. Maybe we could meet later, perhaps." And she's like, "Oh well, maybe I'll see you later." And she says, "Okay, bonjour." And she kind of just turns around and moves off. And as she like skips off, not actually skipping, but she's moving with this effortless grace, like a trained dancer, the way she's moving. And she's quite breathtaking. Like she is quite lovely. As she just disappears off, moving into the crowd as people moving past her, and like as
Can we
she's,
follow her? Like,
gee, if you want to, you most certainly could.
yeah, I nudge Justine and go like, come on, let's see where she goes. Or like so, I whisper to her like, "Yeah, come on, let's see where she goes." So we try to follow her. All right.
Okay, are you trying to be sneaky about this?
I'd say we just follow her around market for a bit. I don't
Yeah,
think
see
there's
where she goes.
much need to be like sneaky. We'll
Okay,
just keep an eye out on her.
We just,
so she
happen to go to the same direction.
she's kind of wandering around a bit. She stops at a few different stalls. She stops at one stall and she gets some bread. She stops at another stall. She gets some cheese. One thing you do notice is that anytime she's around anywhere where there might be some young men, some attractive young men, she's very flirty with the young men. Okay, and
Uh,
yes,
can I roll awareness and see maybe if there's anything else we could spot?
sure.
Yeah, see if your spidey senses are tingling.
We need some raging lesbians.
Yeah, it's a pity that Gwyn isn't there.
all the
You're
raging les-
mute.
all the raging
You're
lesbians.
mute, Susie.
Sylvia is still back at the inn, so
Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
you're missing the raging lesbians.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I rolled
what did you get?
12.
12 total.
What is this?
This would be awareness.
Awareness.
Oh, which you is 0 in, yeah, so that'll be 12.
Oh yeah, it's 12.
Um,
That's not bad, that's not bad, that's alright.
like what you notice is a incredibly beautiful, very charming looking woman who is effortlessly enthralling any of the young men near her. Like this girl,
Yeah, well, look,
this
come
woman,
on.
like she looks to be, and it's weird. It's kind of like she has that kind of ageless beauty where you're like, is she 21 or 31? You know the way you sometimes meet women like that, where you're like, they're just beautiful. You can't tell how old they are. She's got that kind of ageless beauty to her, and yeah, like any of the young men that she talks to, they are completely enthralled by her because she is quite stunning. Like this woman's beauty easily rivals that of Juliet, um, Gwyn's paramour. As I say, she is wandering around for a bit. She's picking up a few random items and putting them into a bag that she's carrying with her. Some bread, some cheese. She gets a bottle of wine as well, skipping away, and then eventually you see that wandering off, um, away from the main market square of the town, heading off, kind of like a little side road alley. You know, not an
Type
alley, but a
thing.
small road, a small path,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
between some of the houses. In a general kind of loosely northerly direction. If you do you want to follow her?
yeah. Let's see where she goes. I mean, if she goes too far, but let's have a look what general direction she goes. Like, come on.
So she's about 3-4 meters ahead of you. You know, you're not on top of her, but you're not being super stealthy either. You
Yeah.
know, and she heads off direction of like this kind of a side street in between some houses, wandering along, kind of humming to herself. And you see her suddenly take a right hand turn to another side street, about 3-4 meters from you. And you get up to the junction. You look and you see a straight street that goes on for a good 100, 150 meters, and she is gone. She is not there.
That
Okay,
is really
that's
weird.
weird. That's weird. Would I suggest we return to the market and ask someone who she spoke to?
Yep,
if
I
so-
just wanted to say the same. If they know her, I mean, it's a small place. They know each other, no? Yeah, let's do that. That is so strange.
So you head back to the market and you talk to a few people at some of the stalls that she was at, and the people do remember who you're talking about because she's this gorgeous blonde beauty. Um, None of them. They're all saying, "No, sorry, she's not a local. Don't know who she is. She must be new to the town." None of the people you talked about, say 3 or 4 different
Weird
groups of people.
shit.
Yeah, talked to about 3 or 4 different groups of people, and they all say, "No, sorry, none of them recognize her at all."
Okay.
That is
The last
so
person I'm
weird.
going to go to Antoine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for that beautiful, stunning lady.
Sorry, Antoine. He was
He was the son of the at the haberdashery.
Okay, I thought it was the farmer because I was like, we were gonna go together. What the hell?
No, that's Macron. Okay. Okay, so you go to him and you say that you're an artist. That's not entirely true. So you're going to have to give me a deception check. So that is D20 and add your +1 for charm.
Not
I'm helping. Yes.
21.
20. Oh, you're not 20.
Yeah.
Okay, he says, "Oh, I'm so
I
sorry."
mean, you've seen in fairness, I would say, since she's from like a upper class, she would have various trainings and various things. So she
Look,
knows a bit of music, she knows a bit of art, she knows a bit of.
Justine, this was a very
Watercolor.
your target number was a 12, okay? So, yeah, all right. This was not a hard deception to do. This is a clueless buffing, okay? So when you say this is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is the first time I've ever met the woman, this beauty. I don't know her at all, but I'm hoping that certainly I'm hoping to run into her again soon.
Did you say what her name was? At all?
And then she say that he kind of he thinks for a minute. You see him like looking off to the side, like trying to remember. Actually, no, she didn't. No, she never gave me her name, but that's not. I guess that's not uncommon. People don't randomly introduce each other. I mean, you did not give your name to my mother when you bought those ribbons, so.
No, but I mean, I wasn't flirting with you either, was I?
I when you say it, he just goes bright red, and his mother gives him
I
a.
could.
His mother gives him a kidney punch.
Okay,
I love that
yeah,
woman.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm certainly if you happen to bump into her again, Mademoiselle, please if you could maybe pass on a message that I said hello and that I would love to spend some time in her company and
I'm sure she knows. And I drag Justine along, and back to the auberge and say, like, we have to tell Sylvia, we have to tell Gwen, this is, oh my god, this is so strange. What is happening?
Nothing good.
Right, so you head back to the auberge, Le Petit Auberge, to the inn, planning to talk to Sylvia and Gwyn, and I think we're going to take a quick 5-minute break here. I need to buy a break myself. Take a quick break, get a drink of water or other
Oh.
water-based beverages, and we will be back to you all very, very soon, folks, okay?
Go.
Now.
maybe heard, something maybe he experienced something.
Yeah. This is all really, really strange. Right, let's do that. Shall we
Yeah.
have some food first before we go?
Yeah, what time is it?
It's like lunchtime.
Okay.
Let's have some lunch and then we go head out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Yeah?
So
Yeah.
yeah, you have some lunch. Um, you have some lunch and you head out and you
How
get
far
the,
away is that
so
farm?
which farm are you going to? The farm of Macron, who you found, or the farm of
Yeah.
Delacroix?
The your man we found, Macron, was it? Yeah.
Okay, you're told that his farm's about 40-45 minutes outside of town.
Perfect.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
For us, it's nothing.
No. So you head out in the direction of them, okay, and yeah, you head out. You walking out to the Macron farm. As I say, it's not quite the direction you're used to going. You're usually going on a northerly road that leads you to the Tronquay Forest. He's more westerly of the town, but you find your way, okay. So yeah, you head out towards them. After about 45 minutes, you get to the farm. Going up to the farmhouse itself, and you knocking on the door. You can see smoke coming up from the chimney. A moment later, the door is opened by a woman. She appears to be in her kind of like late 30s, fairly average looking, brunette, and she's bonjour. Can I help you?
Bonjour, madame. We found your husband in the forest.
Oh, when you say that, she like throws her arms around you and gives you a big hug.
Justin gives her a hug back.
Yeah, and she's like,
Oh.
thank you so much for finding him. Thank you so much.
Don't worry.
Please come
Yeah.
in. Come in. Come in.
We were
Very
hoping
welcome.
perhaps we could speak with him just a little bit if he is recovered enough.
Okay. Yeah, of course he's she brings you in, and he's kind of like in a kitchen area. He's sitting down and he's just resting. She says, he's not allowed work. He's resting. He needs to regain his strength.
Yeah,
Poor man.
he was missing for several days.
When you walk in, he says, "Oh, bonjour! It's my heroes again. How are you all?" You can see he's looking slightly better. Like when you'd
Oh
found
yeah,
him,
he was like super dehydrated, wasn't he?
yeah,
Like,
he basically hadn't eaten or drank for like 3 or 4 days or something. You were amazed he wasn't dead, you know. So he is looking better, but still is slightly gaunt. Still slightly pale, but definitely is looking a lot better. He says,
Are you drinking enough water?
"No, my wife. Trust me, she's making sure she's fed me about 3 liters of soup already today." And she kind of laughs and gives him a kiss on the cheek. I just could I offer you anything? Some would you like some food, some drinks, some wine?
No, thank you.
Oh no, thank you. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We want you to continue to recover from what happened to you.
But the thing is that I have lost someone who is very dear to me as well, and Yusuf is just basically going to tell about her brother that he was seen in his place the last time, and that she suspects that the disappearance of her brother might be somewhat connected to what Macron has experienced, and she's just going to ask him what happens.
Yeah.
I says, well, as I briefly explained to you
it's everything you remember.
when you found me, I don't remember much. I was walking home. I'd been in the town. I'd been drinking with some friends. I was walking home. It was late at night. It was complete. It was nighttime. It was dark. I was conscious because people have been saying they've been seeing more fulfillet, more will o' the wisp on the fields and in the area around. So I was very conscious of that. I was being very attentive, looking out for strange lights that might be floating around that might lure one away. When the last thing I remember is I thought I heard the sound of music. And that was the last thing. I'm sorry I can't give you more, but that's the last thing I remembered was the sound of music.
That
Oh,
sounds like a fairy dance.
yes. Since I've returned last night, I had a dream that I was at a wondrous dance, hearing the most breathtaking music I've ever heard in my life. And I don't know if I was dreaming of the music that I heard being played by the Fae. I don't know. But the last thing I remembered before waking up with you all surrounding me in the forest was the sound of pipes and fiddles and and drums.
Okay, Sylvia turns to Yasti and she just says, "It sounds like he was lured away by a fey dance. It sounds like something different to
I
to
would
Braza."
know. And Justine is going to turn to the farmer and just ask, um, do you know the other missing person?
Delacroix, yeah, I mean, I know him. He's from the area. He's down here from the area. His farm is about, over 10 kilometers northeast of mine. You know the road that, the main road north out of the town that leads up to the forest and then branches around the forest. And you know exactly what road he's talking about. It's the main road you used
Because
to
we
travel
took
before
that a couple of times.
many
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
times, and it's the road that the Castilian farm is on.
Yeah,
So he says,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, his farm is nearer to the forest than mine, obviously. But they're not. Their lands don't touch the forest. But he's over in
yeah.
that. They're over in that direction. But like he's been gone for a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Did he disappear
Yeah.
before or after you or the same
Before,
day?
no, before me. Oh, at least a week before me.
Yeah, this guy's been missing for a week and a half, they said.
Mm.
Do you know
So
do you know anything about him? What friends he has in town? If there was anything about him? Any gossip, excuse me for my words.
None that I know of. No. He's a simple farmer. He has a very large family. He has, I think, he has five or he has. Oh, he has two, and you see him counting his fingers. One, two, three. He has five kids, five children. He done quite well. He done well. We all did well, but he seemed to do especially well during the war. When 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 we when the war happened, obviously the government was looking for food for the soldiers, and many of us made quite a lot of money from selling such food to the soldiers. So he had done very well from that. But yes, there's not much else to say. He has his there's a farmer like myself. He raised a lot of sheep, and his wife Stephanie. I mean, she's a good woman, busy running around after all those children all the time. But I'm sorry, I can't tell you more. Like he I don't. He'd be well liked in the area, like myself. He's just another local farmer, nothing special.
when was
Thank
he
you very
last
much.
seen? Was he was like yourself, walking back from
Yes,
from
that's
Sweden?
the exact same thing. He was drinking in the town and walking home, and he did not arrive at home. So I don't know. Maybe he was also taken in a fairy dance by the Fae. I don't know. Um, but yes.
Okay.
He's been missing a week and a half. I fear the worst.
Yeah, as I said, I think he went missing. Maybe I don't know. It could have been a week before me. Yes, maybe
Mm.
maybe 5 or 6 days before me.
So you don't remember anything? You were asleep when we found you.
Wait, I don't. all that I've remembered is what I've been remembering from my dreams of a dance with the
A
most
dance, some beautiful music. Yeah,
music
yeah,
that
yeah.
I couldn't resist.
Are you dancing with fake? Like, is there any fey fairies? Anyone there
In my dream, I'm
in your
surrounded
dreams?
by
Yeah.
many tiny Luthien in beautiful clothes of the richest greens and
Mm.
blues and reds and
But you didn't see Delacroix.
no, he was not in my dream.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not. That's
Do you
perfect.
you?
Fine.
I mean, I don't know. I was gone 4 days, I think, maybe five. I don't know before you
Mhm.
found me.
Yeah.
The
Do you-
way you were when we found you, so I'm afraid I'm yeah, I fear the worst for him.
I
Yeah.
me,
don't
yeah,
know. I
me too.
mean, the forest is just so fast. I don't know
Hmm.
how we would even track or find
Yeah.
him, given that the tracks they move.
And let's not forget. I mean, that forest is supposed to be full of monsters that could like dire wolves and other monsters that might eat a man.
If you did see dire wolves, yeah, we know that it's full of fae. Yeah, this is true.
I'm sorry, I can't help you more.
No, no, that's quite all
You
right.
have been so helpful, but right now you should focus on your recovery.
Oh, and his wife turns out, oh, don't worry, he is. It'll be another day before he gets back to working on the farm.
Good, good.
So yeah, they offer you some food and some drink as I said, but if you
Oh,
want, you can head.
oh, it's fine.
Yeah. We bid them goodbye. We don't want to,
Oh, I
you
take
know,
their food,
Uh
like,
huh.
ugh.
intrude on your recovery, but bid
Yeah,
them goodbye. Exactly. Wish them all the best.
Mm-hmm. Right. What do you want to do? Do you want to head to the Delacour farm?
Yeah, sure. What
yeah. I
time is
mean,
it? We should
is
we
he
should
far?
we should
Is
have
he
time
far
for
from us?
From
a
his,
10 kilometers. He said.
it's a bit of a walk. From you. Yeah, it'll probably be about an hour's walk, maybe, because you're gonna
If that,
cross.
who's closer? Is or do you want to go to him or the Castilian?
Well, from the
Let's go to him first because I want to talk to the wife before I go to
Yeah.
Castilian and go like, you are
Oh,
doing
so
something.
Um, actually, from the
yeah.
description that they gave, you imagine that the Delacroix farm is actually very close to the Castilian farm.
Hmm.
Mm,
And they're not touching the forest, whereas the
No.
Castilian is. So I imagine the
Yes.
Castilian is that bit further.
Yeah, that's so the direction he gave you, like, oh, that's the general direction of the Castilian farm as well. So
What are you
alright.
thinking? What are you thinking?
Mm, just
I see the cocks turning.
Well, we're not very
Sylvia's.
welcome in Castillion's house, are
Oh,
we?
but
No,
Gwen isn't with us.
no.
no.
So
Yeah, but we're
we're,
with Gwyn.
I saw what.
yeah.
And especially if we know something, we can go and say like, "Oh, we missed her." That's why I want
Yeah,
to
but
talk
we
to her.
don't know
Oh,
anything. What are we going to say?
Sylvia's fucking
Yeah,
looking
that's
for
why
an
I want to talk to
excuse.
her. See
She's
what's the
she's
story there.
looking
Like.
for an excuse to go to Castilian
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
I think we should talk to
Like, what the
to the
Delacroix
fuck is
farm's
going
family
on?
first.
Yeah,
to Madame Delacroix.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's head out.
So we'll say you head in the direction of the Delacroix farm. It takes you
We're
about
very fit. We're just,
yeah,
you know,
it takes you
not a bother.
about 50 minutes to get to the farm. You're pretty sure you know
Mm,
where, and you realize, oh wait, this farm looks like it probably neighbors the Castilian farm.
mm.
You know,
Yeah,
they're,
that's
they're,
what
Oh,
they said.
that's convenient. Fucking
Uh-huh.
dickhead. I'm sorry. Sylvia is
Well,
so
you know,
full of
like,
rage and
look. Their
fury.
gossip wasn't like they assumed the wrong person, but the rest was kind of. So we don't know. Let's go and ask first. But yeah,
Oh yes, let's go and ask.
yeah. Let's go say like,
so
oi.
you head to the farm. You go to the farmhouse. You knock on the door, and a moment
Yeah.
later, the door is opened by a boy. I say a boy, teenage. He looks about 15 years of age. Kind of average height, stocky build, dark hair. And he opened the door and he looked you all confused, like, bonjour, can I help you?
Hello, bonjour. We would like to talk to your mama if she's in.
Oh,
Or is she over at the Castilian farm?
when you say that he,
Sylvia,
what,
Sylvia L, that was Mina, just like, shut up!
when you say that he kind of looks
Wait, Daniel.
confused. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, Mama, we have guests. And a moment later, you hear the sounds of footsteps as a woman, average height, kind of
Oh,
a stocky build. Like by stocky, I mean like someone who clearly like has a very physical life. You know, working outdoors a lot. Okay. Ruddy complexion, dark brown hair, and dark brown wool. She sees you all and says, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, madame. We're a group of travelers, and we just found Macron, the farmer in the
Oh,
forest.
you're the women who the heroes who killed the ogre.
We are indeed. We are
yeah.
indeed.
Yeah,
Ah,
And on the
true.
way home, we happened to come across Macron, but I'm
wow.
afraid that we haven't found your husband. So
I mean,
we
Perhaps,
when
wondered
perhaps
if we could
tell
talk
us a
to.
little bit
please,
more about him. We're very sorry that we did not find him.
no, please come in. And yeah, you when you mention the husband, you see your face gets sad. It's just no, please come in. And it's a very nice farmhouse. It's fairly simple. You kind of a living room type space. Table for people to eat their meals. There's a fire lit. Some logs burning on it. I mean, you can see there's a pot over. She's obviously cooking. Probably the evening meal. It's getting to about 5 o'clock. And he was like, please sit down. Can I get you all something to eat or drink?
Oh, no, madam.
Oh,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you very
We
much.
won't be here for very long, but we were hoping perhaps if you could tell us a little bit more about the nights that your husband did not come home.
I mean, there's not much to tell. It was about. I mean, it was. There's very little to tell. Um, it was.
I presume he was out meeting some
It
friends,
was
yeah?
12 days ago.
Mm,
He'd gone into the town to drink with friends,
mm.
as he does quite often. He'd normally walk home on his own, no problem.
So
Um,
I do understand a lot of the townsfolk, they are grouping together to walk home now because of the faux filet.
that's yes. Recently, that is something that they've only started doing since my husband went missing. But yes, I woke up in the middle of the night. I realized he hadn't gotten home yet. I was worried, and by sunrise, he still had not returned. The next day, I went into the town, and the people he would normally drink with, were saying that yeah, no, they'd seen him. He'd been drinking, and then he'd left,
Mhm.
and that was it.
He left on his way, and that was it. Yeah. You see, Monsieur Macron, you see, he was talking about hearing beautiful music and then waking up when we woke him up in the forest. So we assume he was taken by a thing called a fairy dance, which is you hear beautiful music and you cannot resist following.
You think
Um,
that's what happened to my husband, to Mark?
I
very likely, yeah.
suspect that it might have happened, yeah.
And
This is
it
what
might be
happened.
something that happened to my brother as well. And he's just going to tell the story again, very briefly, just,
The woman is obviously very upset. Her husband's gone missing, and you're telling her you think he's been lost by fairies, maybe in the Fey Realm. And even when you recounting your story, she's trying to be compassionate, but you can see she's clearly very upset. Just, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if what you say is true, and he was taken away by the fairies, then my husband is gone. He may as well be dead.
necessarily there is still hope.
He may not be dead. We went to the Fey Realm and we returned, so it is possible.
But if the stories are true, you're all powerful witches and sorcerers. Yes, my husband's a simple farmer.
Well, I'm not a witch and I'm not a sorcerer, so
But you have that, and she points at Albert, the halberd.
I do have, yeah, I do have
Yeah,
that,
my,
yeah.
my, my husband is a simple farmer.
Mm,
Yes, but we didn't fight anyone in Fey Realm.
no,
If he had
no, we
And
to,
did
if you come to save
Lucky.
your husband, he has a chance. But we need you to be very, very, very honest with us.
I don't know what else.
As honest as possible.
Of course, I please. I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you. And as she's saying that, you hear
anything strange happened before this has all started? Was there anything
no,
like
nothing at all.
on the farm?
No,
Anything? Any fairies on the farm? No, anything at all? Nothing. No.
no. I mean, there had been. No, this would have been at least maybe 2 weeks before this happened.
Mhm.
There had been some attacks, sheep attacks on not on our farm, but some of the other farms in the surrounding area.
Mm.
Some neighboring farms of ours had attacks, and sheep were taken.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
think, this was
yes,
shortly
yes, yes,
before
yes,
the
yes,
ogre arrived.
yes, 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 yes.
But
That was that giant snail thingy.
I
The
what
Lakakoi,
Yeah,
Lakako.
yeah. Or
giant snail?
oh
Someone
yeah,
said
it's
on the
dead. Don't
giant
worry.
snail.
But
Don't
yeah.
worry. It's the snail is not around anymore. Sorry,
Oh, are
Gil, you
you
were
talking about on the Leroux farm? No, I'm talking about on the Lambert farm and the Chalamet farm. No, these were different to that.
Oh,
What you're talking?
you mean that must be the dire wolves then in that case. They're dead as well. Well, not all of them, but some.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. When you say direwolves, no, because she's saying it was about 2 weeks ago. It's been a month since you fought the direwolves, so your timelines
Ah,
aren't matching up here. Um,
that must have been when we were in the Fey Realm then, like, yeah.
you don't know. She said it was just before the ogre. As I said, just before the ogre was spotted. Is when she's saying it happened, and
Just before the ogre was blooded,
so
yeah.
which was basically you were lost into the Fey Realm like 2 days
Mm.
before the ogre arrived, and she was saying like about the same time as you went into the Fey Realm. She was saying there was
Mhm.
sheep attacks in the area. That's it.
But nobody ever found out what
No,
attacked the sheep? No, no. Were they taken? Were they killed? Or were they attacked
they
and
were
injured?
they were taken. The sheep were taken.
Mm.
they're probably dead though, in
Oh
fairness.
yeah. No, something must have wanted lunch or
Right,
whatever.
Gil,
But
you were
like,
mentioning something happened, but we kind of interrupted you.
So yeah, and as this is happening, you hear a sound from outside, the sound of horses and movement, and she looks at the window, and she's, "Oh, you're such a good man,"
it's
and
Sean.
she calls out, "Pierre,
It's Sean.
Pierre Michel, go help, go help with the Monsieur Castiglione. He's arrived with the firewood that he'd promised." And the two boys, you see the boy who'd opened the door and a clearly slightly older brother, maybe 16, 17. They both look very similar to their mother. They all come out from another room, go out the front door, and you hear the sounds of voices, and you recognize the sound of Jean Castiglione's voice as he's talking to the lads and unloading some firewood and stacking it up.
Now,
Monsieur
Justine is going to
Castiglione.
All right.
Justine is going to give Mina a look like, shut up, don't say anything. And Justine is
No,
going
it
to
was
say,
just yeah. You say
Justine is
you
going
go.
to say, oh, yes, he's such a good man. Were
Yeah,
you,
he is, isn't he? Yeah.
were you close before? Is he a
um,
good friend of yours?
well, we're neighbors. He's always been a very great neighbor, and like he's always like the Castilians are a quiet family. They keep to themselves, but they've always been great neighbors. Anytime any of us in nearby have ever needed help, Jean's always been the first to offer. And when Mark disappeared, he has been here. He's come in regularly, checking in on me to make sure everything's okay. Simple things like this is, I think, the second or third time he's arrived with a wagon full of firewood for us. Um, the other day he helped repair one of the fences. he's a very good neighbor.
That's very noble of him.
And you're so lucky to have such a good neighbor live so close.
Yes, I am. I mean, people say that.
Like, I want to see, like, if you have any snark. Has she got any snark in her voice? Like,
Well, this is the thing.
Would
If Sylvia has snark,
never.
Madame.
Sylvia would never.
So, despite your snark, Madame Delacroix does not pick up on it at all. She says, "No, we're very lucky to have such good, kind Christian neighbors to help us out in these difficult times."
indeed,
Sir
indeed.
Castilians, this must take you away from your wife and your work.
Do you? Well, you're still indoors. Are you going back?
I'm here
Are you getting up and going outside to talk to him?
Sylvia is going. She's going to say, but say that to your one. Just
To Delacroix?
but yeah, and then she's going to get up and she's going to go out to your man.
So you see Jean, and he's the lads, the boys. He's directing them, and they're unloading a fairly sizable stack of firewood. This will probably do the family for easily a week, and they're putting it into an area at the side of the house. There is a rain shelter. This is clearly a spot that's been built to store firewood. And as you walk out, and he sees you, he says, "Bonjour."
Bonjour. I hope that you did not go into the forest to chop all of this wood, Monsieur Castilian.
I did not go in deep, just near the edge. And you can see, as he's talking to you, he's looking past your shoulder to try and see if there's anybody else around.
I bet he fucking is. I bet he fucking is. Sylvia is just looking at him with like, no, you're not touching Gwen.
Madame Delacroix, with her husband missing, I'm just being a good neighbor, helping the family out where I can.
Oh, that is so kind of you.
No, not at all. I mean, anyone would do this.
No, anyone would not do this. But we were here because we found Macron. So we were hoping maybe we might learn some information. So it seems Monsieur Delacroix has been missing for quite a long time.
Yes, well over a week, honestly.
You haven't heard anything yourself. I mean, your farm is so close to the forest.
No, nothing, no such thing at all. But
Are you afraid?
what?
Being lured
Going
away?
missing
or-
yourself, you.
I don't go out at night to drink in the town, so I'm not worried. I don't have the risk of traveling home at night and possibly falling victim to the faux follet or the Luthien's music.
Well,
The
you
sound
say
of
it's just the beginning.
Sorry, what was that, Justine?
Aren't you afraid that it's just the beginning? That it starts with people who return home from drinking, but then whatever is doing it, they might find another hunting ground and take people from other places.
I mean, as you know, my family, we keep our charms up around our house and we leave out our offerings so that the Fae would have no cause to ever cause us any harm.
Shade.
Your wife and your family as well, of course, I hope.
Oh yes, they're all very well. And your friends are all well? And he's still looking around, like at this stage, Justine and Mina have come out, but he's like still looking around like to see where's Gwen?
Well, Sylvia's like looking him dead.
Oh yeah, Mina is as well, like, you know.
Yeah.
Gwen is ill.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that she is well soon.
Mm-hmm.
Though you have healing skills yourself, do you not, Mademoiselle? Gesturing at you, Sylvia.
My skills more relate to wounds. I cannot cure illnesses or infections. It's the sort of thing.
Well, I would recommend Madame Choisy, Pierre Choisy, the priest's sister.
I was going to when Mina became ill from the giant snail. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that.
Oh yeah, that's why I not even say it. Like it's
Lucacoir.
Yeah.
can't. I just can't. But
You took French.
Thankfully, no French people actually listen to our stream.
No.
Yes.
I mean, try to do a French accent. I'll be like, oh, it's the other end. They need a wine.
Oh.
But no, I was going to call to her, and perhaps I was hoping maybe I could take notes the next time she is brewing something. Just I know about curing wounds. I can make potions for that, but
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get some help with that. And at that moment, the elder son comes up and he says, Monsieur Castellano, I was wondering if you could help us. The wheel off one of the wagons is had come undone. We got a new wheel from the cooper, but we need to fix it. And he says, yes, of course, Pierre, I can help you with that. Now, that's not a problem either. And they head off around the corner. He gives you all a nod, a polite nod. He's like, I'm going to go off and do this thing now.
is it far?
I mean, they're just going around. You could follow if you want.
Yeah, still be able to fly. I want to see if he's like super fucking strong and he can like lift it.
So
easily.
you go over and you see there's a wagon, and one of the wheels is off, and it's it's on some blocks where the wheel is missing, and you see a fresh wheel beside it, and Jean goes, okay, so let's get this ready. You get the wheel, I'll help you out. And like it's a fairly big wagon, like it's about 2 meters wide. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
a
want to see if he
proper
can lift it.
it's a proper wagon, and he goes up to it, and he says, well, just give me 1 second. And he kind of just does this kind of like stretch, kind of exaggerated shoulder roll, and he goes in, drops down slightly low, puts his hands underneath, extending, and he lifts the back of the wagon up. Now he's not crazy, but he does, and you see him go, okay, Pierre, let's go, good lad. And you can see Pierre's like, I was gonna get, and he's gesturing at his brother Michel, who'd obviously he was going to get the help, and he grabs the wheel, fixes it onto the axle, and he said, okay, Monsieur Castellanos, and he just gently lets down the wagon.
How heavy is it?
It's a wagon. This is like,
Is it realistic that a human could lift this on their own without help, levers, winches, all that kind of stuff? Is my question. I know.
no. So this is the thing. You're not.
I know a crazy strong
Yes.
buddies of mine can deadlift in the gym, but I am asking.
So
is a farmer
this is
really-
well, you know what farmers are like. Farmers are like freakishly
Insane.
crazy, magic strong.
Yeah.
So there is that. And there wasn't like it's 4-wheel wagon, not a 2-wheel wagon. So there would be a certain amount of leverage.
Okay.
If Dubois had done this, you wouldn't have questioned it. Jean Castiglioni's tall, he's lean, and he has that lean, muscular farmer strength.
So, but he's kind of rock climbery built, or
Well, no, like do you remember when we were in Peru and the farming family we stayed with there?
Yes.
So
yes.
like those guys were strong, but
Yeah.
so you're looking at me like maybe he could have done that, but you know, it's like if Dubois had done that, you wouldn't have been surprised, but you're kind of surprised. But what you do notice looking at him is that while he was huffing and puffing, when he relaxes, you realize
Not
He's
really.
not tired,
he
no.
actually is
He's
not
like,
tired
oh my
at all.
God, this is
like,
so heavy.
yeah,
Not
it's
really.
like this guy didn't even break a sweat.
Okay, that's
And-
weird.
Case closed.
And he turns around, and he sees that you just saw him, and he just heads back to the wagon where his horse is, and he goes up to the front side. As Stephanie, I have to return home now. There's enough firewood here for at least 4 or 5 days. If you need anything, just send one of the boys with a message, and I'll be here as quickly as I can. And turning to you all, bonjour. And he gets onto his wagon, turning around, leading the horse, driving his wagon out. A final look back over his shoulder at you all as he heads back onto the main road, back up towards his home. And you watch as the father of the young girl that your friend Gwyn has been trying to court and has forbidden it, and heads off. You've learned now that this other farmer has been gone for a long time, and that the first farmer that you found was almost certainly captured by the music of the fairies,
Yeah.
and is lucky he was found at all. This other man, it's not looking good.
No.
What more you can learn from this, you don't know. What more you can learn about this strange, beautiful blonde woman that you saw in the town earlier, you do not know. There is a lot of unanswered questions right now, but hopefully you'll find out something soon. And I think this is a perfect place to pause in our story.
Yes.
So thank you for all who stayed up with us.
Castilian! You!
Thank you for everybody. It's a lot later than normal for us. Sorry about the tech issues. If anybody knows anybody who knows a bit more about the tech side of Twitch streaming and could send me their DMs or something, I would appreciate it, because I think this is more than just a simple internet problem that I'm having. And please
No,
be
it's
sure.
our internet.
Yeah,
Our internet's okay now.
if people would be kind enough to follow us and we can get 50 plus followers and get affiliate status, I know Twitch will then give us a stronger signal for our stream. So please be following. Even if you can't make it to our live streams, our VODs go up usually within about 24 to 48 hours on our YouTube channel. Let's see if I can get this to work. And you can see them there with a follow here. Even if you're looking at our VODs after the fact on YouTube, would really help us a lot. So good night, everybody, and we shall see you all next week. So bye all.